Tooken is directed by John Asher, written by him and Cameron Van Hoy, and stars Lee Tergesen, Lawrence Stamiel, Laura-Leigh, Joyce Bulifant, and Reno Wilson. And Tooken is supposedly a spoof of the Taken series. It does not have a plot. Seriously, it's just a bunch of sketches. Sorry, no, that would be an insult to sketch comedy. It's just a bunch of dumb stuff happening in different scenes that aren't really connected to each other and only very occasionally make a reference to Taken. Lee Tergesen plays a security guard named Brian Millers. That's probably the strongest resemblance to Taken that this movie has. And this is the real reason why I've been reviewing all those Taken movies. Well, not really, but just by the end of 2015, there were a few terrible movies and I didn't get to catch in cinemas, so I decided to catch up on them to see if they would make it to my worst list. And they absolutely will, and this is one more. Tooken is yet another straight-to-DVD movie that should not have ended up in our theaters because nothing about it is funny, nothing about it displays any talent from anybody, and it insults better spoofs and parodies out there because it doesn't deserve to be called a spoof in the first place. It just really comes across as a really stupid movie that just likes making references to Taken. And here's the thing. I don't know if I'll really be able to properly review this movie because that's just how atrocious it is. I might just end up talking about spoofs and straight-to-DVD movies in general because that's kind of like what I did in my review for another terrible movie that came out in 2015, this documentary called The PBA and Nation's Passion. You can check out that video in the description below. I'll leave a link there. It's called How to Review Documentaries, and it was a lot of fun to talk about that, and now I'm probably going to do the same thing here, but let's talk about this movie first. Now, I know a movie's really bad when I look at my criteria for reviewing it, like visual, sound, editing, writing, acting, directing, and I literally have no comment to give. I mean, visually speaking, there's just nothing to Tooken, and I understand that modern comedies usually don't really take advantage of cinematography and production design anymore, but Tooken is especially disappointing because it had the opportunity to poke fun at, let's say, Taken 2's extremely bland visual style. And I know that sounds like I'm expecting way too much from a straight-to-DVD movie, but I promise if you watch this movie, you'll be able to write a better Taken parody in your head than what you're seeing on the screen. And hey, I gotta be fair, it would be unfair to other movies if I didn't review this movie as objectively as I review other movies. With that said, the one thing that I was really hoping to see going into this movie was some ridiculously edited action scene, because the editing in Taken 2 is probably the easiest thing to make fun of in the series, even if you generally like, the rest of Taken 2. And I'm only mentioning Taken 2 and not Taken 3 because I doubt that Taken 3 had been released yet while they were making Tooken. So I was looking forward to seeing that, but you know what? There is no action in Tooken. How do you parody an action movie and not include any action scenes? There are scenes where people shoot guns, yes, but those aren't action scenes. Those are scenes where people shoot guns. And like I said, the characters and the plot just barely resemble Taken in any way. So the filmmakers behind Taken shouldn't even feel insulted that this movie exists because it's barely referencing them anyway. And of course, this movie relies on really cheap, really gross, occasionally sexist and racist humor that just does not work in any shape or form. And the acting, of course, is just bottom-of-the-barrel stuff. Lee Tergesen is clearly attempting to copy Brian Mills' low tone, but it honestly comes off as a Batman impression the entire time, and I'm not kidding. And there is just this one scene where they kind of poke fun at Liam Neeson's barely concealed Irish accent, and I found that scene just so mildly amusing that I kind of half smiled, and that was literally the best reaction this movie ever got from me. Every other actor in this movie just isn't even worth mentioning, so I just won't. I would really hate it if Leslie Nielsen, or dare I say even like the Wayans brothers, to see this movie, because it really is an insult not just to comedy, but to simply staying on topic. I mean, this movie had one job, let's parody Taken, and it can't even do that. It keeps straying from it keeps trying to carve its own comedic path, which it knows it doesn't have the technical ability or the creative skill to do. And I know people might say, just relax, this is a spoof, it's supposed to be dumb, you're not supposed to take it seriously, but there really are filmmakers out there who put effort into their spoofs, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but even the creators behind Scary Movie at least get creative with their pop culture references. But the creators of Tooken stray so far away from what Taken is that In fact, Taken has begun to look like the better version of Tooken to me instead of the other way around. And if you really think that parodies shouldn't be taken seriously, I implore you to watch the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy by Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, and Nick Frost. Those three movies are Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Those are three incredibly smart parodies of their respective genres, and they also happen to be great, well-crafted movies. And again, I know some people might say relax, it's just a straight-to-DVD movie. Besides, I was more understanding to the PBA and Nation's Passion, specifically because I said that it didn't feel like it was intended to be released in theaters. And why am I, railing on this movie when it's straight to DVD? It also is not meant to be released in theaters. Let me make myself clear. The PBA, A Nation's Passion, really felt like it wasn't supposed to be seen by the general public. Also, I know this because I read that it premiered at the Philippine Basketball Association itself. It really felt like it was just kind of accidentally put into cinemas. The way the PBA and Nation's Passion is constructed makes it really look like a long commercial, and that's what really made me think I probably shouldn't be treating this like an actual movie. But Tooken is crafted to look like a movie, which means it expects that people are going to watch it someday. So if this movie wants to take on that responsibility of being called a movie, then I will watch it like a movie. And again, don't tell me that there are no good straight DVD movies, because a lot of my friends like watching DC animated films, and I haven't seen them in their entirety, but I pay attention when they're on, and I gotta tell you, they are good movies, especially Flashpoint Paradox. Like, that's cool. And because this movie strayed so far away from its intended goal, I will stray far away from my intended goal, and for the rest of this video, I will play guitar. I'm serious. Tooken is absolutely a terrible movie. It's one of the worst cinematic experiences I've ever had, even if I just kind of ended up watching this movie on my laptop. Points to a deeper problem, like why are we even getting this kind of stuff in our cinemas? I don't understand how our distributors are fighting for, low quality movies like this. Like, our audiences deserve better, our cinemas deserve better. I just don't understand. Alright, so those are my thoughts on Tooken. Have you guys seen it? I hope not. If you did, what do you think about it? Whether you agree with me or not, please leave me a comment. Let's have a conversation.